Now I know why I never kept my trucks for long periods of time, because you always have maintenance items that pop up. Now this one here is not something that you don't think about, because I don't think Ram nor Ford have to do this, but for these GM pickups, you got to do this. Let's go ahead and check out what it is. All right, let's go ahead and check it out here. I gotta get my light. I may open the garage door, but yeah, right here. So you guys see that these GM trucks have this independent front suspension, and there are some grease points that you have to do. All right, so this is the upper ball joint, and I'm on the passenger side. So on the driver's side, you can really see the zerk a lot better. So that's the lower ball joint. This is the tie rod end here, and there's another one right up here. I cannot show it to you, unfortunately, and then there's one more on the other side that's not on the passenger side. So I'm going to show you guys all this online, but before I do that, let me show you guys what I purchased today, because I've had, you know, grease guns in the past, and I tell you, I think I let people borrow my stuff and I just don't get it back, because I literally like tore up my garage looking for this thing. So I just bought a new one, and I'm not sharing my tools anymore. I'm just telling you that right now. So here's the grease gun that I purchased today, and you definitely want something that you can snake around. That way you can get at different positions to grease these fittings here. I believe this was like $33 at Tractor Supply. I'll put one in the description below from Amazon. I get a small commission if you purchase that online. And then I went over to Walmart and got some Mobile One grease, because this is what most of the GM guys use based off of a forum post, is the Mobile One synthetic grease. It says here, advanced full synthetic grease, 3-time improvement in grease bearing life, exceptional wear protection, blah, 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 blah. You guys see the temperature. So this is more than enough grease for the application here. And I just got 2 tubes just in case, since I haven't done this before. I want to make sure I have just some spare left over for the next time I have to do this. So let's go ahead and get started. If I can coerce my wife real quickly to maybe to hold the camera for a second. Oh, she's looking away. She don't want to do it. She's been working all day, so I understand. What time is this? 4:30. So Friday. On a Friday too, yeah. So what we'll do is, maybe I'll show you maybe 1 or 2 grease fittings. Because I haven't done this before, I'm probably gonna have to pump at least 5 to 7 times based off what people said online. Sometimes at the factory, they don't grease those fittings. So when you buy your truck brand new, this may be something you have to do when you buy your new truck, or you can coerce the dealership to do it for you before you take delivery. Just saying, have them check it. So here's the grease hose we're gonna be using here. And I think it's a 1/4 size that they said. So we'll check both of these. Actually, they look to be the same size. This is the grease gun here. Okay, and you twist off this side. I always get it mixed up. I always twist this side off first because I don't do this often, so I just forget. And grease goes in here. You pull this. Now it's always better to leave the cap on this before you start, but again, I don't do this often, so I forget. Now all we gotta do now is just throw this back on. So again, I'm not really sure how often you're supposed to grease this. I don't think there's really a set time that you're supposed to do it. You're just supposed to inspect it every so often. But let's go ahead and start greasing. So all we gotta do now is just add grease. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh. All right, so grease is coming out. So here's a little bit of the residue grease right there. So again, there's still a little bit left in there, but as you guys see, it's all black. So now I gotta do that, what, 5 more times? And then 4 more times the other side. So the other side has, I believe, 5 grease points, and on this side there's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, so let me go ahead and knock those out, and then I'll show you the other one that's kind of hard to get to. I would venture to say that do about 4 pumps max. That way, man, this thing's stuck on there. Oh, I'll get that off in a second. But yeah, be sure that you just do maybe 3 to 4 pumps and just wait and see what happens. So sometimes the grease will actually start coming out, and that might be too much grease, but there's definitely some grease in there. Now this is going to be the lower ball joint, and I just wanted to see if it'll fit in here, and it looks like it will. Yep, it goes right in. Let's just start with 3 pumps. 1. Oh. 1. Oh, nope, it's not in there. Okay, so let me just make sure I push a little harder. So a little bit of grease actually came out, so it's not actually going inside the ball joint. Let's try that one more time. I'm gonna clean this up. I will recommend to you guys, before you start, clean off all of the zerk fittings. That way you get any grease off before you get started. Maybe that's why this didn't go in that well. So let's try that one more time. Oh, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, man, these might be bone dry. 6. That's all. 7. So we'll just leave it at that, and we'll maybe just come back and check it maybe in a few months or so. But yeah, that's all we can put in that one. Clean off all the grease, and we'll move on to the next one. So you guys see right here? So you see how dirty that is? Like I said, clean all that off before you get started. Get all that residue off. And then that way you can get the grease gun fitting to go on perfectly. Like I said on the one below, it clicked, but I think it was just so dirty. So let's go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, these are dry. 5, 6, 7. That's good. As I said, once you're done, clean everything off. It's pretty much the next day. You guys can see this grease fitting a little bit better here. Do you guys see that over there? Unfortunately, if you have an AT4X, that thing is heavy and hard to get down. So the AT4s, Denali's that have just a regular splash guard, that's probably super easy to take down, but that takes a little bit more effort. So yes, this is not an easy project. I thought I was gonna be able to do this in like 20 minutes, and then I tried to get this fitting, and as you guys see, it's buried under there. You probably will not be able to get that if you're just a regular Joe Blow like me. But right here, the other, these are your tie rods here. These right above, right up here. I wish I can show it to you. There's a fitting. You might be able to see it better this way. Oh, right there, perfect, yeah. So it's right there. You can see the nipple of it right there. That is pretty much buried under that skid plate too. So if you're thinking, again, you're gonna be able to do this just real quickly, 10-15 minutes. This is probably a 30-minute project, simply because of where these fittings are. And of course, if you turn your steering wheel left and right, that makes it easier to get those lower ball joints. I think this one is this the idler? I'll put what this one is here, but you can see where the red is. I left that red at the very top so you can see that fitting there. But yeah, that one's pretty easy to get to once you get that skid plate off. And then, like I said, taking it off, I can go right through here actually now and get that one. And I'd strongly recommend that you clean these off too, as I've said in the past in this video. Clean those off before you start greasing them. I think it just makes it so much better. So yeah, right there, Let's start from the beginning, just so we're on the same page. I'm on the passenger side, right? This is your upper and lower control arm. Those are pretty easy to get to, right? And right there, this is gonna be your tie rod end. Now these 3 grease points are the same on both sides. So on the passenger side, you're gonna have an idler arm right there that pivots. This one, you can see the zerk fitting right there. That one is pretty easy to get to, but you have to remove the splash guard, skid plate, whatever you have to remove that to get to that one from what I can see here. And let me go ahead and flip around the other side. Now I'm underneath the truck. I'm facing the front of the truck right now. So that's my oil pan right there. So you guys see, this is your center pitman arm. So this is grease fitting right here. And then this is your center idler arm on this side. This is the passenger side. I have the steering wheel turned towards the passenger side all the way cocked. You basically have a perfect way to grease those fittings when it's turned. So there's no obstructions here, right? Now, when it was turned towards the driver's side, you see this? I think this is a part of the headlights, maybe? Not really sure. But this was pretty much under here, and I could not get it greased. So when I took off the skid plate, turned it towards the passenger side, you have clear line of sight for these. And as I've said, that's 9 total. So you saw the 3 on each side where the control arms are and where the tie rods are. And then you guys see the ones here. And then the last one is on the passenger side. You can see it right through there. I'll zoom in if you can see it better. Let's see, right there, boom. So that's it. And that one's pretty easy. You can get it from the front here very easily, okay? So apologize about how this jumps around. A lot of people always call me out. I don't ever pretend to be an expert. I've never said I've been, an expert at anything. I just pick up a camera and I just start filming. And I think that sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. But yeah, this is actually a pretty easy job. So hopefully this video will help anyone out there looking to do that. But you will have to remove your splash guard, skid plate. And yeah, you will have to move the steering wheel bit back and forth too, because these lower ball joints are really hard to get to. So now that the steering wheel is pointed this way towards the passenger side, the driver's side is more easier to get to, and then you'll spin it the other way, and then you'll be able to get to that fitting a lot better. Now you have a lot of different adjustments, and I'm sure if you have a lot of different swivels, things like that, that will make this a lot easier too. But again, thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you have any other suggestions. I've only counted the 9 that you guys saw there. I've shown you every one that you have to grease. If I'm missing one, let me know. This is all I've been able to find though. One last thing. Some of you guys asked me about my frame and what I use to touch it up. You can get this from Walmart. It's a 2-in-1 rust, reform, and seal. While I had the skid plate off the truck, I went ahead and just kind of touched it up. There's a few rough spots, so I just scraped it off and just put this over it, let it sit for about an hour, and then we can put the skid plate back up. But I have a video, if I can find it, I'll put it at the end of this one. I literally just sprayed my entire frame in spots where it was kind of coming off, and it matches the wax coating perfectly. It's like a matted finish, and it's rubberized too, so that's why it matches so well. And whenever I take my truck in for service, when they lift it up, they always kind of scrape off some of that protectant, so I just touch it up after every service too. So yeah, you can get that from Walmart, or if I remember, I'll put it down in the description. For Amazon, I get a small discount. And I have all my promo code stuff for Insane Diesel, Banks, and then Diesel or Corp if you want to buy stuff from them. Now, as I mentioned, I was going to show you guys something online. This is in the description below. So if you would like to do a quick read on this guy did a great write-up here, Wayne. And yeah, he pretty much helped me with this. I actually watched this the next day, and it just made it so much easier, guys. So be sure to check out the website if you want just something to follow, on your phone. And yeah, see you guys soon.